Yo, what's up guys? Where Winds Meet is an absolutely massive game, and it feels like the more you play it, the more secrets and hidden things you discover. So that's exactly what I want to talk about today. 15 hidden tips and tricks that you might not have seen yet. And I want to go over a bit of everything. Ways to get stronger, certain systems in the game that you might not even be aware of, and then some really cool things you can go and collect that are going to really help you on your playthrough. So let's get straight into it. Okay, first up, let's talk about ways to get stronger. There are certain systems in the game that will help you improve your build, deal more damage, and get through things much easier that you might never have seen before. So if you go into develop, and then you have this screen here with your abilities, you go gear and talents, and most of you will be very familiar with this. However, one thing there is that you might not have seen is this thing down here, build management, and this thing here, improvement guide. Now, if you've never seen this, you can click here and you can see my current build is 9,000 score, and that is kind of a summary of everything you have. So that includes all of these things, the levels of your weapons, the levels of your skills, the skills you have, and things like that. If you click on improvement guide and then you go to development guide, it will tell you where you are lacking. So you can see here, my inner way is doing really, really well. My mystic arts are really well leveled and really well geared. I could level my spear a little bit more, but generally the build is looking good. My character as well has good talents, has a lot of the oddities in place and lots of things that are making it very strong. Similarly, the gear is pretty good, but could be a little bit better. I could upgrade my thumb ring, my bow, and things like that. And I'm lacking on my mystic skills. So one thing it's recommending me to do is to go and level up my mystic skills. So I can click here, I can go into my mystic skills, and I can see here, I can use these things to upgrade it. And if you're finding all of the different systems in the game, all of the different, things that you should be enhancing, upgrading, toning, all of the different things are confusing, you can just go to the guide, do what it tells you, and these will all just go green. And you see they'll take you to your exact items. They'll tell you items you need. So this is really, really useful. Okay, now the next thing that is really going to help you get stronger is having some sort of build or plan for your character in place. Now, you don't need to do anything early on. Just play the game, try out all the different weapons, and have fun. But as you start to play a little bit more, you'll start receiving gear that has tier sets. So you can see the top left here, these are part of a set. And similarly, you will be gaining these items and they will help you build more damage or build more healing, etc. And if you're not using these pieces together, you're missing out on tons of damage. You can see here with the with this 4 set bonus here, I'm getting +7 physical defense, and dealing damage over time gives you stacks of eagle eyes, which gives you loads more buffs. So it's really important to be using some sort of tier set. But the big question I had when I started was, well, what do I pick? Because when you go to open these boxes, you have these item boxes here, and it says contains a piece of tier 31 gear, and you go to open it, and it's like, oh, well, what do I get? Do I get the silk bind or the bamboo cut? And there's a recommended, right? But that's recommended. But why? Why is it recommended? And is that going to be good for my gear? Maybe you're using an umbrella and the dual swords. Is there a certain set good for that? Well, there is something in the game that will help you out without having to go look anything up. What you do is, again, you go into develop, you go into improvement guide, and where we have the development guide here, we have the path guide. And what this does is it will help you make a build based on a set of really easy things to follow. So what you can do is, say you want to play melee DPS. You have 3 choices: DPS melee combat, or DPS melee combat. And these are certain sets that you can follow. So if we look at this one here is based on the samurai sword by the look of it. And it says high mobility and single control, good for combat. And you look, it's the nameless sword and the nameless spear. So it says use a nameless sword, nameless spear. These are the inner ways it would recommend, and they will work well. This charge damage deals more damage, and these weapons have charge. And then it gives you a recommended gear set. It recommends the Bell Strike set for this setup, which is really good. Maybe you want to go with the strategic sword. That's what I'm playing right now, strategic sword Heavenquaker. These are the inner ways they recommend. You don't have to follow them, but they would help you. Like after using strategic sword, gain some damage. Heavenquake spear, So they work with the build. Similarly, it recommends the Bell Strike set. Maybe you want to play DPS. Again, they have that. Inkwell Fan, Vernal Umbrella with the Silk set. And these are the ones they recommend, and they should help. That's an umbrella thing. And you can just click these and it will tell you where to get them. Like space, obtain. And like you can see how to get the stuff, and you can make your build much, much, much easier. And maybe there are better builds out there that make some niche thing, but these will be really strong. Trust me, I'm using this one. I'm using a variation of this right now, and it's incredible. Not only that, but you get rewards for using them as well, and it shows you how many people are playing this in-game. Okay, next up is talents. When you are looking to get stronger, one of the most significant things you can do is get more talent points. And they feel very hard to come by, and you're going to be playing for a long time, and you might feel like you're just not getting many. Well, the single fastest way I have found to get these talent points is to do the story. Every single chapter, almost, it feels like every single chapter you do of the story, you will get 1 talent point. And these give you massive buffs. You can see here, 500 HP just for using this. You can go up here, massive physical defense increases, crit rate, precision, min physical damage. Like I'm just gonna put a point in there. I'll go up here and put some points into physical defense. So these give you massive buffs, and along the way you also get like abilities, damage bonus, mystic slots. So it's very important to try and like get all of these. With all of this, you'll have 8 mystic slots, which is massive. I mean, you could do so much more in combat. So yeah, I would just plow through the story as, obviously do whatever you want to do, have fun. But if you want to get stronger and get a big chunk of that strength early on, just plow through the story. It's not that long. It goes through 2 zones, and that will give you tons and tons of talent points. Now, I will quickly talk about the other talent points too, because it might not be obvious, or you might just have like glanced over it. There are 2 other types of talent tree. There is an arena talent tree and a boss talent tree. And one thing to be very, very, very aware of is this note at the bottom. When you look at the basics, there is nothing down here, which means these work everywhere. So once you have these, they work everywhere. No matter what you're doing, you are stronger, you have more health, you have more talents. When you look at the arena, these only take place in 1v1 arena matches. That means one thing: if you want to get better at PvP, do more PvP. If you're wondering why people are destroying you, it's because they have all their talent points and they're doing tons and tons more damage. So that's one thing to do. Start funneling into this if you want to do PvP. And if you don't want to PvP, awesome, because none of this matters outside of PvP. Similarly, there is a same system with bosses. So all of the bosses that you can do in the game, the multiplayer bosses, these have their own talent tree. So you can see if we look at, say, the first boss, right, the Void guy, the Void King, you can see if there are things to do, there are like tasks to do for each boss. So for this boss here, there are these 3 tasks. And if we look here, defeat the Void King 2 times and deflect 2 times in a single whirlwind. If you do this, you will get more damage during their exhausted state. If you do this, defeat the Void King without getting knocked away by Wind Strike Wind Zone, you'll get 20% more damage. Minus 20% damage taken. And then here you have damage and healing overall just by beating him a number of times. And the more times you beat him, the more ranks in this you get. So if you just want to be a PvE boss and you just want to destroy the bosses, it's worth chonking away at these. Additionally, for getting like multiple ones, you can get certain titles. And then if you get like these capstone ones, these just come from defeating the boss a number of times. So you don't have to do any sort of task, just defeat it enough times, you'll unlock these ones here. And as you get these, you'll get this chest at the bottom, which gives you a chance to get more rewards. 20% chance to gain a bonus appearance chest when claiming the trial rewards for the current season. So it's really worth just like looking at this, having a look at like what objectives you have to do before you go into the boss fight, and trying to tick some of these off. And they go all the way through all the bosses. So it's a really cool thing, but again, only effective in Heroes Realm and Sword Trial. So if you just want to play in the open world, you don't need to worry about any of this. Okay, now it wouldn't be a tips video if I didn't talk about the UI. This is the #1 thing I see people talking about, that the UI is too confusing, they don't know what anything does. So here are just a collection of tips or things you might not be aware of that you can do in the UI. So if we go on appearance, I literally learned this like yesterday, and it is a game changer. It's helped me so much in just like creating what I want to create and do things I want to do. So when you go to add your attachments, these are like your attachments. So you've got like, you've got the helmet and the hats and all that stuff. But then you have these attachments. And initially, when you click them, they don't look very good. They'll just throw things in random places. So if I take, for example, this fish, right? If I go to add the fish, it will randomly throw the fish somewhere on your character. And that doesn't look great. But you can move that wherever you want. You can put it on your right side, your left side, your right waist. You can put it on your back. You can put it pretty much anywhere you want. And then additionally, you can change the size. You can change like how it's tilted. Some good items that you might want to place. So for example, I got this sword. You can, instead of just being randomly somewhere on your character, you can have it placed exactly how you want it. So say you want it to cross with the other one, you could, make it smaller. You could place it like to the side, rotate it like along to face the other sword, and then drop it down. And then if you save it, now that's only something small, it's not like a huge thing, but it's something I recently found, and I thought it was really cool, and I've been able to do a lot more since I found it. So hope you enjoy that one. Okay, now one of the most confusing tabs I would say is the bag. When you initially open this, it is very confusing. You have, all your gear, a few things to know. #1, recycle. Your bag is going to fill up, and you might not even be aware, because I don't think you even get a warning that your bag has filled up. So make sure you're using recycling and you're using filters. So when your bag is full, you can press recycle, and you can recycle things based on your filter. So I have mine right now. I'm at the 40 to 50 level bracket, so I can recycle everything below 30. right now I've got 1 item, so I would just recycle it, and you can just say add all, and it will recycle that for gold. So you can just get rid of any like low level items, and then when I get to like the next bracket, the 50-60 range, when that opens up, I can recycle all the lower level gear that you don't need, which is really, really cool. Additionally, you can also filter to, say you're looking for a specific tier set and it's got lost in here, you can just put your filter on, and you can say, you know, filter for these sets. So I'm currently using Hawking and Eagle Eyes. I can filter for those 2 sets. And then when I'm looking to gear my character, I know, oh, I've got 1 helmet that's that set. I've got a couple of chest pieces that are that set. So that should help a little bit. Okay, the next thing, if you go into the next bag, these are like your usable items. So you have like all, common, appearance. When you go to consumable, you have this really cool thing here that you might not have even known existed. And this is food. You can set auto use for HP. So when your HP drops below, say 60, you can now use food when you get low HP. Now, if you don't have any food, you might not, you know, be using this, but also you might not have seen the point of food in the game. You might have been playing the game and not even worried about food because you didn't see the point of it. Well, it's auto getting used. So as you're getting all these dishes and you're getting all these things, they're just auto getting used. If you don't want to do that, you can set it super low. If you know you're less risky, you can put it higher. But yeah, just know it exists, and there's a reason to cook food and cook meals. Another question I see get asked a lot is, what is this item for? How do I use this item? Well, you can look up every item in the game, where they are used, and how to get them. So if you're ever confused, just do that, because it will solve all your problems. For example, when I first got these Echo Jades, I used them to draw. I was just drawing items, hoping to hit like, you know, the really cool appearances, because I thought that was their only use. But it's not. You can see they have uses in 2 different shops. And if we click these shops, you can see there's one up there. And you can see if we go to this one, there's one over here. And this item here will unlock a really powerful passive called the Morale Chant. Attacking or healing has a chance to grant 1 stack of effect, increasing your damage, healing up to 5 times. And this is one of the biggest passives. It's incredible. And I'm trying to get it because I think it's going to be really, really good. To do that, I think you need 10 of these. And these cost 500 each. So yeah, I would like make sure you look up the items and see what you need before you just start using them all. Similarly, you can also see where they come from. So you get them from arena, exploration, guilds, these sort of rewards. So yeah, all of the items like that, you can like, you know, say you do the Perception Forest for the first time, which is like the Battle Royale. What's that used for? Why am I gathering this? Well, it's used here. Oh, if you want this hairstyle, you need 9,000. You want this back piece. You know what you're, you know why you're gathering stuff and why you want to save stuff. So yeah, hopefully you find that useful, because it's definitely confusing. It also comes in when you're upgrading your gear. If we look at like development, and then we go to say inner way, and we want to like level up this inner way breakthrough, you can see here we need these books. Well, how do we get these books? You can click. Some from the season shop, some from that merchant. They come from these chests, and you already have 2 of them in your inventory. So yeah, really, really easy to like just look an item up and, oh, I actually have 2 of these in my inventory. I could get this right now. So yeah, definitely take the time to look at this menu. It's going to save you a ton of time, because it just takes you to the thing you need. Okay, dailies and weeklies. It can be very stressful. What do I do every day? What do I do every week? What do I need to buy? Well, this is a quick summary. When you go into your sect, your faction, there is a Jondu. Sorry if I'm butchering any words. Jondu errands. These are your daily tasks. You can do these every day, and they will give you 102 points for each one. And it's just going to be based on your faction. Do a little bit of stuff, get a little reward, but you are capped at only 1,200 a week. So you don't have to worry about doing, 6 of these a day. Just make sure you do your 1,200 a week, and you're fine. And these are used in the faction shop, your sect shop for your specific one. So for example, I'm saving for this with the cool cape, the 9 mortal ways. Like I say, full guide on that if you want to see it. But that is what I'm saving for. So just know you can get 1,200 a week, and that's going to be part of your daily. There is a guild daily. Similarly, you can go in the guild and do your guild dailies. When it comes to items that you want to be grabbing every day, grabbing every week, go in your season. Go in the season. This is, we're in season 1 right now because the game just came out, and there is a season shop. Here is what I would recommend. If you need them, there are commerce coins. You can buy 1 of these a week, and it's 2,500 commerce. That's pretty good. These martial art tips are very, very good. You can get 15 of these a week, and you get 20,000 of these fish, so you're completely fine buying these. Don't worry. I would buy the Oscillating Jade. They're going to be very good for progressing your character. You can get these as well if you're at the point where you start to need these. I'm about to buy these out, but you can grab those. When it comes to gear, you can buy the gear for your level if you want to. I bought all of the 41 gear chests, but you don't need them. You can just beat the bosses and get them that way. These career ones, I would buy all of this. This is the number one thing. If you're stressed about what to get all of these. Get every single one of these without a doubt. These are what you use to level up your healer or scholar profession. Like I say, I've got a full guide on that as well, but these are a weekly limit and they are very hard to come by. So if you want to level up your profession, you need to get these, and they're on a weekly lockout. So grab those. Appearance, don't worry about it. And that is pretty much it. I mean, you could buy one pull a week with the Echo Jade if you want. I did that. You could buy one of the good pulls, but that's it. Okay, next up, a system that is very easy to miss, and even though you might have unlocked some of these skills, you might have no idea why, and it's the exploration skills and the passives that go along with them. There is a very detailed list of abilities, and you need to hit certain milestones to unlock certain skills. So if you ever found yourself doing something like fishing or doing one of the cat challenges, and you've got a new ability, this is why. Go into develop, go into details, and then right here, you have your it's like a pickaxe and a shovel, and it is your exploration attributes and your exploration mastery. And I'm sure some of you will have never got into this menu because nothing ever leads you here, right? If you come along here, you have different stats, and these come from doing anything in the game. So collecting oddities gets you perception, archery competitions, perception. Come down to intelligence, do gift of the gab or solve a riddle, you gain intelligence, right? So all of the little weird side things you're doing, you're actually gaining these passive stat points, and you get them all the time, and they'll keep going up, and they will unlock your exploration skills. And you've probably seen these unlock at random. Maybe you did an archery competition and unlocked this. It wasn't because you did a specific archery competition in a specific location. It's because your perception hit the bracket it needed to unlock it. And there's some very, very powerful things in here. My favorite is this one, Animal Whisper. Once you get 600 total points, mindset and intelligence to those levels, 75 and 50, you will unlock Animal Whisperer, which lets you talk to animals. You can find like dogs and other animals in the world, go and talk to them, and they will have actual quests for you. So it unlocks whole parts of the game. There's this one here that I'm working towards, which is Treasure Seeker, which will let you see chests on your minimap. And there's some really good ones, increased arrow duration, using Celestial Sea Steel targets gives you a higher chance of success, like really good ones in here. And you want to be working towards getting these. And as you just play the game, you will slowly unlock them. But if you're looking for a specific thing, maybe you really like fishing, you want to go get the fishing expert. So yeah, try and look into this and just make sure, there's not a certain area that you're falling behind on, or maybe there's one game mode you don't really like and you've been avoiding. Maybe you should go do a few if there's a skill you want to unlock. Okay, now let's talk about some really good skills. One is probably the most useful skill in the game, and then the other is the most powerful I've found so far. So when it comes to useful skills, Meridian Touch is one of the best of all time. The way you get this is you go to this location here. It's near Heaven's Pier, and there's a guy and there's a bunch of statues around. This basically lets you freeze somebody. It lets you press V, analyze somebody, and then make a choice. You can immobilize them, you can make them itchy, you can do different things to different people that are useful all throughout the game. This is used in multiple quests. There are quests where you need to freeze people in place. There are quests where you need to analyze someone and do certain activities. So this is going to come up a lot, so get it as soon as possible. Additionally, this is used in combat. You can, when someone's in the middle of their animation, like a boss is jumping at you, sometimes it will pop up that you can press Meridian Touch to freeze them and cancel their big move. It is an amazing ability that I would just get ASAP. Another really small feature I've seen with this is that when you do something wrong and somebody runs away from you, they'll go in to report you. So when you see that, you can just freeze the person and then choose what you want to do. Choose if you want to fight, choose if you want to get some distance on them, and you can even walk up to them and then choose to barter with them and do a bit of scholar bartering to try and talk them out of it. So it's a skill that I've used almost every single day I've played the game, so I would definitely go and get that. Okay, next up, when you get to the second zone, when you come down here and you get into the big city, head right here and get the ability called Ghost Blink. Now, as you come through the city and go to the right, you get into the Forsaken Quarter. You want to go right here, and it's kind of like between this cat and then between this chess game. Right here, just walk around and you'll get beckoned that there's something nearby. Go and talk to a man, and it's like a question mark. Go and talk to this person. It's a really, really short quest. Complete it and you will unlock Ghost Blink. Now, this is one of the best abilities I can mention, because one thing that you might struggle with early on is AoE. AoE is a bit of a problem. You have lots of really powerful abilities, but lots of the different weapons struggle to hit 4 targets, 5 targets at once. What this does is it goes and hits everyone around you and immobilizes them. It is incredible. It also does a chunk of their bar, so you can get to your finisher even faster. As soon as I got this, now clearing camps is a breeze. So I'd get this ASAP and just enjoy the quality of life this brings you and upgrade it as much as you can, because it is easily one of the most powerful AoE abilities you can get. Okay, next up, one thing that's very easy to miss is the fact you can tame horses. You're given a horse early on in the game, but you can tame any other horse, and all the horses have their own stats. They have their own stats, their own abilities, and some horses are significantly better than others. You might think in the first zone, oh, I don't really need one, but they do come in very useful. So when you see a horse in the open world, you just go up to it, press the button that pops up, I think it's F on the PC, and then you go over and you do the horse capture minigame. Doing so will give you a permanent free horse in your inventory, which is huge. If you want to just go and collect a bunch of horses and try and find the strongest one, this is something fun you can do that it took me a while to find. And if you find you then have a bunch of horses you don't need, maybe you find one you really like and then you've got a bunch of others, you can also sell them. So you can go to any of the horse merchants. There are some even in the very first zone. Go over to them. There's a whole horse area in the northeast of the first zone. And there is a place where you can sell these horses. So you want to make some free coins, you can go do that. And it's quite a fun little activity if you're interested in that part of the game. Okay, next up, if you feel like you made the wrong choice at the start and you picked the wrong martial art, don't worry. You can get every single one in the game without any, negative effect. You can get them all and they will all be just as strong as if you picked them at the start. So as you go down, you can see I've got everything here apart from the Inkwell fan. All you would do is when you want to get one, you would click on it, and you would have down here ways to obtain it. And usually there are some that you can get from a sect. If you join it, you can learn it when you join. So that's one fast way if you want to do that. But another way is just to do this. You click space, you obtain, and you can do this. Look, you can go to their area and you can use this here where you just go in, you watch them do it, and then you learn it. And it's as simple as that. You just do this little action where you watch them, you do skill theft, and you watch them and you learn the ability that way. And that there is an area on the map for every single one, and as part of your gameplay you can just go and unlock them all and try them all. I started out with the dual swords, later realized I preferred the strategic sword, so now I've been using that. So don't feel bad about using one you're not happy with. Again, if you've leveled one all the way to 40, 50 and you're still not happy, you can level another. It's completely fine. There's enough materials, so have fun. Okay, now the last thing is just to try online mode. Now this sounds silly because why wouldn't you? But some people are just playing that as a single player game, and my advice is just to give it a go. Just go in your options and mode switch, go onto online mode, because there is a completely different game in online mode that you could be missing out on. And maybe you don't want to do most of it, maybe you don't want to be social, maybe you don't want to talk to anyone, but you don't have to. There are still some really fun things you can do in online mode. So I've just switched to online mode and your map overlay completely changes. So if we go to somewhere where, an area that more people will have, if we go over here, you can see here what was a bunch of quest givers is now different activities. You can do multiplayer wrestling. You can do a Scholar's Hearth multiplayer event. There's like a quiz here where you can go and you join a bunch of people and you have to answer questions right. And if you get them right, you get rewards. And you don't have to talk to a single person if you don't want to. Just know there is a full different map laid out with multiplayer activities that you can go and be a part of. And you get rewards for these and you get achievements for these. And if you want to collect loads of stuff, you can do that. One really cool thing is some absolute wild person bought a boat with, you've probably heard about it, the really expensive boat that you can buy on the store. Well, somebody bought it and you will get an announcement when there is a boat docked ready to leave. I went there today and it was really, really fun. You can go on this boat, do a bunch of activities, ride around and just chill with other people, and you also get a bunch of rewards and slips and stuff for going to it. So yeah, don't be afraid to go and adventure around and see other people and try the online version of the game. It's not, even though this game is like kind of an MMO, kind of isn't, it doesn't hurt to have some fun and try it out. But that's it. I hope you found some of this useful. I could make 100 points to talk about, but this would be hours long. So hopefully you found these useful. If you want another video like this with another bunch, let me know. And if you have anything else to add or to help other people with, let them know in the comments. But thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more, do consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for everyone who has so far. It's been amazing. But take care. I'll catch you on the next one.